Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new updated GOMI Metro version of the GOMI indicator packages. So you'll notice right off the bat that the GOMI Metro version looks a lot better. They made a lot of changes visually that just make it more visually appealing. Now, the way that it calculates and what it actually is displaying is pretty close to the same. It still shows all of the sells, still shows all of the executed buys, commitment of traders, and the buy side and all of that. And it also shows a lot of the same stuff on the left and right, but the way that you can modify it and make it look quite a bit better is just a huge update. One of the other big things you'll notice is down here, there's a nice little graphic addition to the delta down there. So not only can you see the overall volume, but you can also see the percent of buyers versus sellers in the specific candle underneath it. And that's based in a percentage. So it gives you just a little bit more visual representation of what's going on. Now, along with all of the new stuff that they added to it, we've also got the VWAP that's being plotted on here. Now, remember, the way that the GOMI plots is kind of blocks, right? So each price has its own kind of little slot. So this technically, the VWAP technically is a single line, but the way that it's drawn just kind of looks like a rectangle. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the VWAP. But let's dig into the settings a little bit. So if you right-click, go to Indicators, the settings are going to show up as the GOM Volume Ladder Metro Edition V2. Now, that's just, it's a big name, but it's just basically the updated version of the GOMI. Now, a lot of the settings that we went over in the previous GOMI videos are the exact same. So the extreme ladders, the left ladders, all the things that you can display on there are pretty much the same. The one big change that they did make is the way that you can display them. So as an example right here, you've got the histogram direction. And if you notice on here, I've got these plotting from the center outward, right? So that's how you can actually adjust it to make it look just a little bit better. When I'm displaying, in this case, the bid itself versus the ask, I want to have it from essentially right to left and left to right. Otherwise, it doesn't look very good. And you'll notice that you can adjust those settings right here. Makes it really, really easy. So now you can display the bid and the ask at each price level, and you can make it look just a little bit better. So scrolling a little bit further down, we've got the right ladder and the extreme right ladder, which I've got on this side over here, and those are pretty much the same thing. I mean, if we look at it right off the bat, I've got the delta difference up here, and then I've also got the total volume. Now, the way that I've got those displayed is right to left on both of them. They're not really correlated together, where the bid and the ask are coming from kind of the same information, right? I would want those plotting from the center out. In this case, they're two different types of data, so I definitely want those coming from the left and then going outward. So they don't look like they're paired together, which they're not. So again, just the ability of customization to make it look significantly better is huge. Now, a couple of the other things as far as the bid-ask ladder goes. Now, originally you could just do the bid-ask ladder. You could also do a delta, but in this option you can actually set it up like market delta now, where they've got the bid at the ask. So the bid x ask, which is the exact same way that shows up on market delta, which is another really popular footprint chart. So if I were to adjust this to bid times ask and hit OK, and let that load up really quick, and now you'll notice when I zoom into the chart, it looks quite a bit like market delta does. Now you've got the price times the other price from bid or from the buy side to the sell side. So if you're coming from market delta, it's a way that you can sort of keep it a little bit of the same. You can show yourself and keep kind of the same mentality between two different types without having to pay out the wazoo to actually buy market delta. So what I'll do is I'll go back into indicators and we'll just switch it back to the way I had it before. I'm a fan of showing the bid and the ask separated. It just makes it a little bit, for me, a little bit more visually appealing. But as we go a little bit further down, just like before, you can change all the colors that you want and completely modify it to however you would like it to display. But one of the big things that was really added to this, and it makes it really, really cool, is this bottom portion down here. Now, right now, I've got this set, if we zoom into it, I've got this set to a graphic representation, and everything else is set to none down here. Now, that's going to basically show you the overall volume in the candle. So it's going to show you the total volume up here and the percentage of sellers and the percentage of buyers. And that gives you a total of 100% or the entire candle's makeup. It's just a nice way of seeing volume in a little bit of a different way. Now, if you wanted something a little bit more in-depth than volume, you can switch this to statistic and you can adjust which row out of all of these that you want to show up. So if you want to see the delta row, if you want to see the volume, if you want to see the cumulative volume, percent minimum delta row, you can show all of this stuff just by simply switching this graphic to statistic. So if I wanted to show more, like I said, use the drop down, go to statistic. Now if I wanted to show, say, the delta row on the first, cumulative delta on the second, and volume on the third, and I hit apply, it's going to completely adjust how it actually looks into essentially a really, really nice looking setup towards the bottom. And it's all statistically based off what we told it to show. So in this case, if I scroll down a little bit, right now I've got it showing the delta, the cumulative delta, in the volume row. So right here, I'm able to see the volume row, the delta, and the cumulative delta. Actually, I might have had those flipped around. But that way you can display as many things as you want. You can see that doesn't take up a whole lot of space. You can go up to 8 different things and be able to see everything that's going on. So really, really nice addition. And if you want to adjust it back, just switch these to none. And then you can go back up to statistic and just show the graphic view. And then hit apply, and it'll show the graphic view just like it was before. So overall, really, really nice additions to the GOMI indicator itself. And then just like before, you can adjust all kinds of different stuff as far as how the colors show up, even down to what the VWAP, the new addition to it, the VWAP looks like. It's a really, really good update. So if you're a user of the GOMI, I would definitely check out the update that just came out for it. Now, if you want to get a hold of the templates or learn how to use it, you can sign right into the School of Trade. If you're an advanced member, you'll already have access to all of it. Otherwise, you can check out the tutorial and check us out. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. We'll be sure to get back to you as soon as we can. Have a good one.